Okie doke. Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice starts today. Just to go over the history of my Phoenix Wright career. 1, 2, and 3 I did not stream. I played those off stream quite some time ago. Same thing with Apollo Justice. And then on stream, we played through Edgeworth Investigations and Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright and Phoenix Wright, whatever the one was called with the psychology lady. Why have I already forgotten? I didn't dislike it. Why can't I think of the name? How silly. Why can't I think of the name? Normally it would be right there installed, but it's not. Or is it? It's somewhere. Actually, it's not. Whatever it was called. You know why? Because I still haven't uploaded it to YouTube. I'm almost caught up enough on my YouTube uploads that I might actually upload it soon. In any case, this one... Oh, Dual Destinies, that's what it's called. In any case, this is the... I guess it counts as the 6th game. Because you only count the Ace Attorney games and... Oh, and that would include... what's his name? God, I did just wake up. That's my excuse. Apollo. The Foreign Turnabout.
On the western edge of the Far East, lies a peaceful country of spirit mediums and mystery, the kingdom of Khura'in. But now, the flames of revolution are threatening to consume it whole. But things like revolt and revolution were the furthest things from my mind when I first arrived in this land.
Episode 1, The Foreign Turnabout. Interesting that they changed the name from... Well, no, this is just the first time I've heard it said aloud, but they used to spell it differently, too. Oh no, I was supposed to be reading that. Even after death, the soul lives on in the Twilight Realm, and priestesses can commune with the spirits of the dead. Fear not death. In the name of the Holy Mother. Fear only the impurities of your soul. It's you, the real murderer. Jesus? This blight on my soul. I'll have the child take the blame. It was Butterfly Jesus. He did it. He did the murdering. Yeah, I always just pronounced it Khura'in. I guess it's Khura'in. Phew, I'm finally here. So this is the kingdom of Khura'in, huh? What a long trip. I wonder how many hours I was in the air. We can't say, because that would imply which country I'm actually from. Or is this... Does this take place in Japan in the Japanese version? And in this one, he's just like, whew, I had to fly to this foreign country. In fact, this might be... I get it. This is actually the origin, isn't it? This is the origin of the Eat Your Hamburgers, Apollo comic strip. Where he's standing in what is clearly, you know, a Japanese temple. But just look at this place. Lada? Oh no, that's him taking pictures. Get a load of this street. It really feels like I'm in another world here, not Japan. Not Japanifornia. And that gorgeous temple. I read that's the center of town. I read. Wow, an ox right in the middle of the street. I have to get a picture of that. Excuse me, sir. I wonder what kind of bird that is. I've never seen anything like it. It's quite a crest it has on its head. Excuse me, sir. What? Oh, yes. Pardon me, but are you Mr. Wright? Yes, that's right. Oops. Hope he hasn't been trying to get my attention all this time. Wait a minute. Are you? That's right. Is it my imagination? Or have the previous games been better with their names? I'll be Ur'gaid at your service. I'm a monk in training. Really? You couldn't call it like Jinja Temple and be funny that way? Temple. And I'll be your guide around town. It's very nice to meet you. Happiraki. Happy what now? Happiraki. That's how we greet people here in Khura'in. It's like hello or how do you do? It's a pretty handy expression to know. Okay, let me give it a try. Hello, I'm Phoenix Wright. Happiraki. My name is Phoenix Wright. It sure is. And I run a small law office. Well, that's what I do back home anyway. Right now, I'm just a traveler, a stranger in a strange land. Welcome to our country. Welcome to the kingdom of Khura'in, land of spirit mediums and mystery. This is for you. What is it, a badge? You're just presenting me your badge? You only just met me. To celebrate your arrival. Speaking of mystery, what is this mysterious green lump exactly? Allow me to Setsume Shio. This is a famous Khura'inese sweet bun. It's called Magataman, or soul bun. It's shaped like a magatama. It's so yummy it'll send your soul right to the Twilight Realm. That doesn't exactly make me eager to try it. Thanks. I think I'll indulge later. That'll be 20 damas. Thank you for your patronage. I have to pay? I always have plenty of those on hand, so just let me know if you want any more. No wonder his bag looks so heavy. It's stuffed with all the tools of his trade. Oops, I almost forgot to tell you something really important. It's about Miss Maya. She can't come see you for a few days yet. Yeah. When I called her from the airport, she said she was still training up in the mountains. I told her I'd wait for her here. Either way, I was glad to hear she's in good spirits. Maya Fey. She was not in Dual Destinies, I don't think. I think Pearl showed up and not Maya. Is that right? She's a spirit medium who used to work as my assistant. I was about to say, are they gonna not reveal the face? Because we haven't seen her as an old person. I came all the way out here to celebrate the end of her ascetic training with her. This is my first time in this country, so I'll be counting on you, okay? You got it, sir. Please don't hesitate if you need anything at all. Maya was right when she told me I could leave everything in your capable hands. Oh, shucks, she said that? That sure was nice of her. I had a chance to show Miss Maya around a little bit, too. If there's one person Maya was worried about, it's me. Because we both know trouble likes to follow you wherever you go, she said. I can see the footsteps of the Shinigami. That girl worries too much. But you sure came early to the party, Mr. Wright, sir. I mean, Miss Maya won't be done with her training for another 2 weeks. Ugh. I hate to admit it, but I came early because I was worried about her, too. Oh, well, you know. I thought I'd get in a little sightseeing first. Oh, sightseeing! Well, I'm your man for that. Snort. I'll show you all the best sights this country has to offer. Thanks. That would be great. I guess Albie takes his job very seriously. Well, what are we waiting for? Those sights aren't going to see themselves. And neither am I, without a mirror. Yikes, you don't have to shove. First stop, Temple. Right there in the center of the town. There's something there I really want to show you. This is a nice visual style. I like this. Because it started to pull away, so you can see that it's actually 3D rendered, but it still looks very, it looks very much like the previous games. I like it. Wow, it's even more impressive up close. Allow me to explain. This is the heart of our town, Temple. It was created by the founder of Khura'inism, the Holy Mother herself. I'm training right here at this temple to be a monk someday. I read that the people of this country are all adherents of Khura'inism. According to my guidebook, it's a religion in which ancestral spirits are venerated. The Holy Mother was a great spirit medium who could commune with our ancestors' souls, and spirit mediums become queen to this day, direct descendants of the Holy Mother. A spirit medium rules the entire country, huh? Talk about power and influence. The main thing you'll want to see when you come to Temple is the Dance of Devotion Rite. The Dance of Devotion takes place twice, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. This dance, along with the Song of Ceremony, is performed in offering to the Holy Mother. The Dance of Devotion has the power to summon forth souls from the Twilight Realm. In Khura'inism, we believe the souls are wings looping around the bodies. Hold it! Slow down! I can't remember all of that at once, and He-10 can't read it. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got a little overexcited. Anyway, the main thing I got from all that is that you really, really love your country. Well, that's sure true. I like this kid. Pours his heart into everything he does. Let's see. I guess I just explained about half of what I usually explain, so I'll give you a special discount and only charge you 10 damas for the tour fee. Thank you for your patronage. Guess he pours his heart into aggressive salesmanship, too. Come to think of it, Miss Maya said she could tell I love my country, too. We stood here for about an hour while I told her all about the Holy Mother. How does she not... Isn't she in charge? Or something? An hour? Hope that counted as patience training. And she seemed really interested, too. She listened to my whole speech. Huh. Doesn't sound like the Maya I know. Miss Maya is so kind and nice. She treats me really well, like a little brother. She's kind of like a big sister to me. This is Maya Fey you're talking about, right? Maybe she's grown up since last I saw her. Oh no! What's the matter? Is it that time already? We have to hurry into the temple right away. But first, let me give you this lyrics card for the Song of Ceremony I told you about. It may come in handy in case someone is murdered. There's an English translation of the lyrics there too, so give it a read, okay? Let's go! But why the big rush? If we don't hurry, we'll miss the beginning of Her Benevolence's Dance of Devotion. Her Benevolence? Would have been a good time to have honorifics, English language, but we don't. As we all know, treason is such a violent crime that you need to all have your guns drawn. The accused lobby. Let me in. Why won't you let me in? Because you're a foreigner. What business could you have with this court? I told you, my friend is on trial in there. The police raided the temple in the middle of the dance performance yesterday and arrested Albie on suspicion of treason. I was worried about Albie, so I just had to come see his trial. A trial isn't a tourist attraction, so clear off. If you want a picture for your scrapbook, take one of me. Get out of here. Look, you've got it all wrong. Just great. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do. Take that. It's my lawyer badge. I took it on the plane with me. Yes, I'm a foreigner, but I'm not your average foreigner. What? I'm actually a lawyer. Back home, anyway. What? A lawyer? I can't. That's not possible. What's he so shocked about? Well, whatever. Now's my chance. Nothing wrong with a lawyer entering the courtroom, right? Wait, get back here, you. Wait, we really just juke-drived and ran past him? He's a terrible guard. So this is a They keep advancing the text on me. Wait, isn't that her benevolence? What's she doing in court? And how is she prosecuting without a weapon of some kind? The divination seance has been performed. Yo, Void! How you doing? We only just started. Well, I mean, we're still in the very, very, very beginning. Someone's been murdered and accused already. Well, no, someone's been murdered and someone else has been accused. I will now hand down my verdict against the accused. This, too, is Volton-Face's fault. What? A verdict already? But the trial only just started. Guilty? There's got to be some kind of mistake. Please take another look. Seances performed by Princess Rayfa are infallible. They show only the truth. What right do you have to question her abilities? Excuse me, I have already disproved that magic exists. I'm gonna do the same with her powers. But I didn't. Isn't it ironic that you, a devout adherent of Khura'ism, would dare doubt her insight? Non-believers will only be met with suffering in the Twilight Realm, you know. But I didn't do it. Your benevolence, allow me to explain, I beg of you. Be silent, impudent whelp. There is no merit to be had in indulging the ramblings born of a criminal's unclean soul. But what in the world is going on here? The judge made his ruling based on something called a divination seance? What is Albie's attorney doing? Bling. Wait a minute. Where is Albie's attorney? Why is this happening? I didn't do anything wrong. Foolish child. Doubting the divination seance is tantamount to doubting the Holy Mother herself. Didn't we already have a character last game who had a staff that banged it? And they were the bad guy. Your Majesty, as Royal Priestess, and in the name of the Holy Mother, I command you. Impose the highest penalty against this unclean soul. As you command, so shall it be done, your benevolence. May her holiness grant us her divine favor. Khura'in.
Objection!
What? Wait, just one moment. You're... Oh, me and my big mouth. Now what? Mr. Wright? What are you doing here, sir? Well, I'm in it now, so I have to do this right. Your Honor, it's too soon to give your verdict. The trial has only been underway for a few minutes. Excuse me? Who on earth are you? Well... An ordinary tourist, Your Honor, just passing through. Ah, tourist, are you? Happy Rocky. But more importantly, where is this boy's defense attorney? Defense attorney? Whatever are you talking about? He doesn't need a defense attorney. Wait, what? Of course, you wouldn't be aware, being a foreigner and all. But we have no need for defense attorneys here in the kingdom of Khura'in. We leave it all up to her benevolence's sacred power of spirit communion. Her divination seances determine all. What? But surely you see how unfair that is. What kind of insane court system are they running here? It's almost as bad as back where I'm from, where people are put to death in like a day after they're caught. You would dare mock me, you barb-headed buffoon? If you value your life, you will leave post-haste, or shall I summon the bailiff? The bailiff is that big scary dude with the big scary gun, isn't he? Actually, shouldn't you have summoned him regardless? I'm sure he would be happy to oblige you with a bullet or two as a souvenir of your travels. For the cost of an arm and a leg, no doubt. Now, hold on. Mr. Wright has nothing to do with any of this. Albie. I appreciate what you're trying to do, Mr. Wright, but never mind about me. You just go ahead and see Miss Maya. But... forget about me. You have to go now. I'm sure you can find another guide. There were lots more places I wanted to show you. But it looks like I won't get a chance now. I'm sorry. The poor kid. He's trying to put on a brave face, but look how terrified he is. What can I do? What should I do? Go find Maya. I can't just let a verdict be handed down with nobody standing in Albie's corner. If Albie doesn't have a defense attorney, then I'll do it. I'll defend him. Defend him? You can't be serious. Murmur, 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 murmur. Did you hear that as he out of his mind? Murmur, murmur, murmur. Heaven forbid it. Defend me. Mr. Wright, what are you saying? You can't do that. I most certainly can. Don't worry, I'm quite used to tackling all sorts of trials. Besides, can you imagine how furious Maya would be if I let anything happen to you? Mr. Wright. You are but a naive tourist, ignorant of our ways. That shouldn't impede the legal process. I'm sure it'll be fine. But if you are smart, you will heed my advice. Do not pursue this matter any further. Looks like defending somebody is easier said than done in this country. Bailiff, throw this man out. Your Majesty, if you please. You have something to say, Mr. Payne? Of course his name's Payne. Why not allow it, Your Majesty? Why not have him defend the accused? It could prove very interesting. Right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Right, Mr. whoever you are. Prosecutor, are you acquainted with this traveler? That's Chief Prosecutor, Your Majesty, and yes, I am acquainted with him. He's a defense attorney from my native land. I've had dealings with him in the courtroom before. Is this the real Winston Payne? Heavens to Betsy, who says that? What? Mr. Wright, you're a defense attorney? You already said that. Wait, didn't he? I don't get it. A defense attorney? Well, this is a shock. You may be surprised to hear that I have more than 10 years of experience. I guess there aren't all that many lawyers around here. Your Majesty, would you kindly allow us to proceed in the manner of my old country? But Mr. Payne, I've already made a ruling in this case. Call it nostalgia, if you will, but I am most eager to give it a try. But I have a previous engagement, you see, a class together with the missus. Your Majesty, I agree we should have a whack at it. It sounds amusing. A score of years have passed since we last saw a defense attorney in this courtroom. The DL6 incident. A score? As in 20 years? What's the deal with this country? Mr. Payne, I want that barbed head brought to me on a stick. As you wish, Your Benevolence. I, Chief Prosecutor Payne, will see to it myself. Very well, Mr. Payne. If that is what you and Her Benevolence want, I will acquiesce. As for the defense, I hope you are prepared for every eventuality. Its defense attorney gets put to death, too, if this client's found guilty. Every eventuality? What is he talking about? There. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Payne. Sorry for not remembering you earlier. That's Chief Prosecutor, or the Incredible Payne, as I'm also known in this country. And you'll see soon enough just why that is, when you're forced to capitulate to me before this very court of law. Why is he so strangely confident? And not only that, but what's with the gallery? Murmur, 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 just you watch. That defense attorney will try and twist the truth. You can bet on it. Get him, Chief Prosecutor! Crush that defense devil! This is way more lawyer hate than even back home. Now, if you will please give your opening argument once again, Mr. Payne. Certainly, Your Majesty. The accused is charged with 2 crimes, larceny and murder. Yesterday, the Founder's Orb was stolen from the treasure room of Temple. In addition to the theft, 2 other things were discovered in the treasure room. The dead body of Mr. Potroll, the temple security guard, and the empty treasure box that housed the orb which Mr. Roll was in charge of guarding. We believe that Mr. Roll was murdered by the thief who stole the treasure. To kill a guard armed with a gun. What a terrifyingly bold act. I couldn't agree more, Your Majesty. Please allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and crime photo. Time of death is around noon. His head shows signs of being hit with a blunt object. Oh, can't look at it yet. Oh, oops, well, it's just a save, but I'll save anyway. Where's the court record? Court record. Court record? It's not, I can't find it. It's not this. Guess we can't look at it just yet. It's been a long time since we had any evidence, whatever he said, submitted to the court. It's kind of refreshing, actually. Ha ha ha. We may rely on the power of seances, but our police still carry out investigations. But why? Thus, any proof I provide is indisputable. Oh, really? Well, forgive me if I don't just take your word for it. I can check the evidence out myself by looking at them in the court record. We'll see just how thorough you and your police were, Mr. Payne. My all-important badge, proof of my profession. The only thing I ever need to submit. Alright. Song of Ceremony. When dragon and tiger battle, the founder offers divine perfection. When the butterfly embraces the mitma, the favor of the orb is bestowed. Patrols. Autopsy report. Time of death, April 23rd, 12 to 1 p.m. Cause of death, cerebral contusion from a head injury. There's his gun with the strap off, like he was going to draw it, I guess. His hand is bloody, which is weird. Blood on the thing. This is open. Thing. Scroll. Alright, figure it out. Maybe he just fell down the stairs, that's all. Wait, it's Gaspin Payne? Not Winston? Whatever happened to Winston? Such a deplorable crime. The audacity of stealing the sacred treasure of Her Holiness, of our founding mother. It's a crime that strikes at the very heart of our nation. Exactly, Your Majesty. We mustn't let the culprit get away with these heinous deeds. Indeed, such deeds are best described as treason against the crown. Is this treasure really such a valuable object? How can you even ask such a thing? Of course it is! Why, sealed within this treasure is the very soul, the mitma of the Holy Mother. Her soul is sealed within the treasure. I'll take that with a grain of salt. How unlikely that souls would really exist. Oh wait, I've actually seen it proved millions of times before by Maya. You don't believe it, do you? Of course I believe it. Something tells me I better play along. Haven't we, Okay, Phoenix. This kind of irreverence is exactly why I dislike defense attorneys so much. Your Honor, Your Majesty? What is it now? This treasure. I've never seen it, so it's a little hard for me to imagine. Could I see a photo of it or something? Of all the outlandish requests, you defense attorneys are truly beyond the pale. He's been getting awfully angry with me. Are those veins popping out of his forehead? It's forbidden for anyone outside of the royal family to view the treasure itself. They say that anyone without the proper spiritual power would be blinded instantly. Blind means unable to see. That is why the average person has never seen the treasure, Mr. Wright. Because there are national treasures that are off limits to the public back home, too. For the benefit of the shamelessly uninformed defense, let me share this newspaper article. It includes photos taken about 8 years ago when the treasure was unearthed. These are the only public photos of the outer box in existence. What's more, the treasure box only leaves the temple's treasure room but once a year, for a special New Year's rite that takes place at the palace. Therefore, this treasure box has only ever been seen by a handful of people. Forced open and its contents stolen, the average person can only see it in this newspaper article. Alright, well, I guess it looks the same. Unless there's something really finicky. Is this all that's going to matter? Is that there's a butterfly on it? We'll see. I hear there's been a string of thefts lately of historical artifacts from the temple. Right, Your Majesty. Inexcusable thievery of precious national treasures for personal gain. And the culprit is the accused. So he used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure, is that it? The accused's family is by no means wealthy. To help with family finances, he works as a tour guide in addition to his aesthetic training. Thank you for giving an excellent outline of the case, Mr. Payne. Now then, no more questions from the defense, I presume? What? I do have questions. Even more? But you just asked a bunch. Well, make it snappy. My class starts in just a few short minutes. What? He's still planning on going to that thing? Alright. There's still a lot I don't know about the case. I should ask now while I have the chance. Let's see, what else do I need to know more about? Mr. Payne, what was the murder weapon? The murder weapon was the treasure box itself. The empty treasure box left at the scene had a large blood stain on it. How utterly reprehensible, using the sacred treasure box for murder. The accused came to the treasure room with the express purpose of stealing the treasure. He climbed the altar stairs and snatched the box, ready to abscond with the treasure. But he was discovered by Mr. Roll, who had come to the room in the course of his rounds. After walloping Mr. Roll on the head with the treasure box, the accused forced the bloodied housing off and made off with the treasure inside. But the defendant is just a little boy. I hardly think he would be able to hit the victim, a grown man, on the head. A very good point, Mr. Wright, but I'm afraid that won't help you. At the time of the crime, the accused was on the stairs leading up to the altar. The accused's elevated position would more than make up for their difference in stature. You see, he had the high ground. I guess that makes sense. Mr. Payne, your reasoning is flawless. What an elegant argument. Hats off to you, Chief Prosecutor. Your title is obviously well earned. Well, the accused's guilt is certainly conclusive. Unless there is anything else, I am ready to announce my verdict. Very well. In that case, I find the accused. Objection! Just one moment, Your Majesty. Don't you think you're rushing the verdict just a little bit? I told you, I have plans to attend to, and... Ah! I'm late. It already started. How did the time fly by so fast? He's still stuck on that. We haven't even heard the defendant's side of the story yet. Your Majesty, the defense asserts its right to cross-examine the defendant. Huh? Did I say something funny? Cross-examine the... What do you mean by that? Actually... What do you mean by that? It's not cross-examination if it's your own witness. What? What do you mean, what do I mean? I seem to have some dim recollection of the process, but I can't quite recall. And little wonder, a so-called defendant hasn't been questioned in over 20 years. Should I even be surprised anymore? Anyway, I demand we let the defendant, or the accused, tell his side of the story. Is that really necessary? Of course it's necessary, Your Majesty. What harm could it do? I say we allow the boy to speak, Your Majesty, though I doubt he'll have anything of relevance to say. Aren't we still just gonna have that girl come in and dance at the end? They're gonna be like, oh, well, there you go. Oh, how kind of you, your royal painness. Very well. As long as it's okay with you, Mr. Payne. I'm already hopelessly late for my class anyway. In that case, the prosecution calls the accused back to the witness stand. Oh, but before we do, I'd better call my wife and apologize for missing that class. Any objections? Go for it, Your Majesty. Accused, state your name and occupation again, if you would. I'll be Ur'gaid. I'm in training to be a monk, and I'm a tour guide, too. Why me? Now, where were we? Cross-examining the defendant, Your Majesty. Right, let's do that then. At the defense attorney's insistence, I might add. He sounds a little dispirited. His wife must have given him a piece of her mind. Well, the defense had better get to it, and make it quick, if you please. The defense? Mr. Wright, I didn't know you were a lawyer. Well, I am, and I'm here to defend you, Albie. Don't worry. All you have to do is tell the truth, and you'll be all right. You tricked me! What? If I knew you were a lawyer, I wouldn't have given you that tour. Give back that Magatama I gave you yesterday. Albie, what's gotten into you? Don't talk to me. You disgust me. Now even Albie's against me. But why? This must be a new experience for you, Mr. Wright, being loathed by a client. Now then, accused, please give the court your testimony. The incident occurred around noon, during the break between the morning and afternoon dances of devotion. I want you to tell the court what you were doing around that time. All right. That's cool. The accused's account. I didn't kill Mr. Roll, and I didn't steal the treasure. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the treasure room. I've never even seen that treasure box with the green... I think he might be telling the truth. I think he might be telling the truth that he's never seen that treasure box with the green Khura'inese butterfly on the side. When the incident happened, I was in the hallway planning out my tour route. Were you well acquainted with the victim? Yes. He used to chat with me whenever we ran into each other in the temple. Mr. Roll was a monk in training when he was a kid too, you know. I bet Albie looked up to him. But he had to give that up and go to work when his family needed money. That's why he became a guard. But at least that way he could still stay on at the temple. He was so proud when he was put in charge of guarding the treasure box. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite. The victim's parents apparently both died relatively young. Of anime. So Mr. Roll had to support his younger brothers and sisters as well. But even with his job as a security guard, I'm sure things couldn't have been easy for him. Sounds like his circumstances and Albie's were very similar. Mr. Roll encouraged me to never give up. Albie, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me, he'd say. He was always cheering me on in my training, and in my tour guide business, too. Why in the world would I kill a nice man like that? Yes, I see. You expressed yourself well. Defense, now that you've heard the accused's account, are you finally satisfied? If so, let's draw this to an expeditious conclusion. But your majesty, I haven't even cross-examined the defendant yet. That wasn't the end of it? It's been so long I don't rightfully recall what this cross-examining thing is all about. A judge who doesn't know what a cross-examination is. What fresh hell is this? I really do wish I could remember how it works. Should I give the judge a refresher on cross-examination? Not necessary. I better save my breath. The judge doesn't exactly seem like a model student. I'll just have to watch and see how it's done. Allow me to cut through your words.
Hold it!
A box with a butterfly on it? Yeah, you can see it in that newspaper article. Look! See? There's a relief of the Khura'in's butterfly on the treasure box. Oh, this design here carved on the back of the box. I see it now. It's a sacred butterfly said to carry the soul or midma of the departed. Its wings form a loop that cradles the midma and carries it to the Twilight Realm. As you can see, there's even one depicted here behind me at the judge's bench. Is that what that is? Okay. Well, what do you know? There it is. So it kind of looks like he's about to be carried off to the Twilight Realm himself. Anyway, I've never even seen this treasure box. Besides, no, my friend. No, my friend.
Objection!
Oh, Albie. Why would you lie to me? So you say you've never laid eyes on the treasure box. Is that right? That's right. It's forbidden, so I'd never do that. In that case, how did you know there was a green butterfly on it? Huh? Because I saw the picture of it in that newspaper article. Nope. Take another look. These photos are in black and white. You couldn't possibly tell what color the butterfly is from these pictures. Ugh! Hold on. His bag. Did it just move? Polkunka! I beg your pardon? Polkunka is a word in Khura'inese that people use when they're surprised. You just exposed a lie. So this is the power of cross-examination, is it? I should be the one shocked here by your shocking lack of understanding. But just a moment. If the accused was lying, then that just makes him more suspicious than ever. Yes? This just makes things far worse for me than ever. Albie, are you hiding something? Please give only true statements. I can't help you if you don't tell the truth. Darn. I just can't seem to get him to open up to me. So, accused, you have seen the treasure box with your own eyes after all, haven't you? Well, maybe I did take a peek one time, a long time ago, when I was cleaning the treasure room. But you weren't in the treasure room at the time of the incident, right? Dots. Of course I wasn't.
Objection!
That is a lie. You were most definitely inside the treasure room on the day of the incident. And I have proof. He does. This was found on the floor of the treasure room. It's a scroll entitled Notice, and contains a list of temple monk duties. These instructions pertain to the day of the incident. And what exactly is that supposed to prove? The accused's fingerprints were found on the scroll. What? Oh no! Where is it? It's not here. I must have dropped it somewhere. Indeed. You must have dropped it when you were busy murdering. Notice has been added to the court record. No. Then that means Albie was there on the day of the incident? So this is the power of cross-examination. The more the accused talks, the guiltier he paints himself. Due to the growing number of thefts around the temple, we'll be tightening security throughout. Therefore, all of the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance of devotion. Oh, nice! Is that part of the... I noticed there's a bunch of challenges like that, right? Or there's like a daily there's some kind of daily thing, right? Like, hey, go into this with all blue mages and beat it with no echo and without being undersized. That sounds fun. Should I be doing that? Should I get in on that or no? Should I bother? My blue mage is 50, but I did not go and get all of the spells. This is probably a good time to go do it, obviously. There's lots of people who are like, hey, let's all go do it. But I don't know. I wouldn't even say the blue mage stuff doesn't appeal to me. I think it does. It's just a little bit intimidating and also time consuming, because if I spend any time playing, I'm mainly just making sure that I stay caught up with Mentor Roulette so that we can have the giveaway on the 29th as planned. It does look like fun though. I don't want to wait to do it. I'll give it a shot, though. I'll try to get into it. I'll read up on it, at least. Yes, it would seem so, your majesty. Arg, he predicted my argument and had evidence ready to refute it. Like a lawyer would. How was any of that supposed to help the accused? See, I told you can't trust lawyers and their lies. Our benevolence already said the kid's guilty. Just declare him guilty and get it over with, murmur, murmur. No. Everything's going all wrong. Shadow, what do I do? As I suspected, this cross-examination session has served no purpose whatsoever. No, you're wrong. Sorry what you go, yo. But armed as we are with her benevolence's insight, there's no reason to doubt his guilt. And I guess I'll just have to poke holes in this insight of hers. By the way, this didn't prove to be very interesting at all, Mr. Payne. Nevertheless, I will now finally announce my verdict. Wait just one moment, your majesty. I haven't seen this divination seance for myself yet. As the defense, I have the right to check it. Is that really necessary? Is that going to be the key phrase of this entire game? Is that really necessary? I have to get home and apologize to my wife. I guess she really did give him the business. Your Majesty, I enthusiastically support having Mr. Wright see the seance. You do? And why is that, Mr. Payne? Don't you want to see it? See the lawyer being utterly crushed by the power of the seance? And then watch him tearfully beg for mercy? Well now, I'm sure it'll make up for not getting to go to that class with your wife. It certainly does sound worth seeing, and it'd give me a juicy tidbit to tell the missus. I've been reduced to a juicy tidbit? Well, for an interloper, I imagine you do have to see it for yourself to be convinced. It's certainly unprecedented, but let's have the divination seance performed again. But then, right after the tearful begging, I really do have to be going. The only tearful begging is going to come from the prosecution when we're through. How pitiful the defense looks, still scrambling desperately for a foothold, blissfully unaware that defeat and despair are all that await him.